welcome back to my channel. So it's been so long I posted a video. So long. So pardon me if I'm still very rusty. So yeah, thank you so much. I want to say a big thank you to all those subscribers that stuck to me and for the friends that called me and asked me about my videos. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So yeah, so what have I been up to, right? I've been studying. I wrote my exit exams, which is an exam we take after we are done with rotations. But because of COVID-19, I had more time to study, and so I wrote the exams earlier than I should have, and I did really well, and I'm so grateful for that. And then after I wrote my exams, there was really nothing to do, so I go back to reading novels, which I am so grateful for because I really have been a novel freak from when I was really young, and then medical school happened. I had to stop or had to reduce my threshold of reading. But now, man, with COVID-19, I just plunged back into reading novels, and I've been enjoying it. And I've been doing rotations, and some rotations I had to stop reading the novel I was reading, just take a pause because they were so stressful. Like when I was doing gynecology, right? I didn't even have any time to read any novels. So yeah, so overall, all in all, I've read so many good novels this year, and I want to share those novels with you. So first of all, I'm currently reading Vinlet by Charlotte Bronte, which I love. I love Charlotte, right? I love her. I think she's my best author. I fell in love with her when I read Jane Eyre, which I read twice. I watched the movie, I read the book again. I can read the book any day, anytime. So this is Charlotte Bronte is my best author of all time, and she's so dear to my heart. And in this book, she describes depression
It's 10 o'clock.
in a way that you won't believe. Like she describes depression like she was depressed herself, and the way she describes emotions is so deep, and it just makes you feel like someone gets you. Like this is really how it feels. How does she know? And this was a book based on the 18th century, long ago. I mean, this was a lady that I was just browsing her, right? She died in 1855. Like seriously, and it's so sad that she died of hyperemesis gravidarum. If she was alive today, she won't die of hyperemesis gravidarum. No, she won't. So it's interesting that human emotion hasn't really changed, but technology has changed. Technology, medicine has evolved since the 18th century, but human emotion hasn't changed at all. The way they were depressed in the 18th century is the way we are depressed today in the 21st century. So that's interesting. Is this the 21st century or the 20th century? I'm not sure. So yeah, that is what I'm reading right now. I'm reading Charlotte Bronte, Finlet, which is based on a boarding school. It's just like imagine Jane Eyre in a boarding school setting. That's just how it is, And so this girl is Lucy Snow, right? Her name is Lucy Snow, and I don't want to. You should read it by yourself. I don't want to start. I don't want the video to be too long because I have other books I want to share with you, right? So I'm currently reading this. I am dabbling into 1984. I'm still in the beginning, like chapter 4 or 5, but I'm not yet done with that. So anytime I feel like I remember, I read 1984. Then, so the books I read and I loved, and which is all the books I read, is Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was my first introduction to a dystopian novel. So it was new. It was easy to read. Kazua's novels are so easy to read but very hard to digest. It's a book I still think about today. I mean, I read Never Let Me Go in June, and I still think about it today. So yes, after Never Let Me Go, I don't think I'm going to say this in exactly as I read them. I'll just, if the authors are similar, I'll merge them together. So I also read The Remains of the Day by the same author, and it was good also. And so Kazuo is an author that questions, right? He doesn't really come into strong conclusions in his novels. It's very subtle, especially Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go was about loss, grief, and hope, you know. And after reading the novel, I started questioning hope. I mean, if we are all going to die, if you're not going to succeed, I mean, what is the point? Why are we lied to that everything is going to be great, everything is going to be fine, when it might not be fine. But I think now I've come to the conclusion that no matter what happens at the end, hope is important. Hope is beautiful because when you have hope, you're able to create a beautiful story, you're able to create a beautiful experience, and it's that process that matters, not the end, right? It's not heaven that matters, it's our experience on earth that matters, right? So it's not that promotion that matters, is what you're doing in the process of getting there that matters. So yeah. And the remains of the day was what I learned is that you should learn to enjoy the remaining part of the day, whether it's after your career, you should enjoy it, you should rest, you should be grateful, and you shouldn't spend your time regretting the choices you made. I read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, which I'm so grateful I read. I mean, The Lord of the Rings was so long at the point I thought I wasn't going to finish it, but I did. Yay! You know, yeah, I loved Sam. I loved this character because I felt like it was the most fully developed character, and Gollum too. I really empathized with Gollum. Then I read Watership Down, which I was so excited about Watership Down when I was done. I read Watership Down before reading Lord of the Rings, so you can imagine how I felt. It was the first adventure I was reading in a long time, so I was like, "Oh my god, these rabbits are so amazing! I'm never going to eat a rabbit ever in my life." So, because it looked like it really had this cool life going on for them, it helped me to appreciate animals more than I did before. So yeah, I mean all these animals, all these insects, they have a life of their own. Sometimes they are going for a meeting, sometimes they are doing cool things too as we are. So just let them be, right? So anyways, I read The Historian, which was a gothic novel, but I loved her description of landscape more than I wasn't really scared. At first I felt like it was a real story, it was true, it was a true story, you know. But then when I read Dracula, I realized that this is all fiction, Yeah, Dracula was raw. Dracula was more scary. In fact, when I was reading Dracula, I actually bought a rosary because I was really scared that maybe at night a vampire is going to come and suck my neck. Oh god, I was so scared. So yeah, then I read Frankenstein, which was good writing, and I mean, I think the most interesting part of reading all these authors is just going back to read about their lives and realizing that, especially the women, they went through so much, and they were able to bring up these stories. It's so so beautiful. I think in those days they used to write for fun. Then if it's really good, they publish it. It's just amazing, right? Then I read Lolita. Lolita was a hard read, was very hard because from the beginning all the characters died. So it was like reading a post-mortem, really. It was hard to read. After reading Lolita, I was kind of really sad and depressed. And I felt like it's a book that I would have to read again to really get what it was about. But on a superficial level, um, no, I have to read it again. But really, it was really hard to read. It was about this girl, this young girl, this child that is abused in all shapes possible by this elderly man in the name of love. So and this the narrator, right, this guy, this older man, he wants us to empathize with him, right? But it's so hard to empathize with him, because he's not even a trustworthy narrator. He's so selfish. So yeah, yeah, it was. And then Again, it compares the European way of life to the American way of life. So yeah, it's a book I'll probably have to read again. But again, after reading it, I was so sad. Then I read 100 Years of Solitude and Love in the Time of Cholera by Gracia Marquez. And oh my goodness, Love in the Time of Cholera was so good. Even 100 Years of Solitude, they are both good novels, and it's the first time I'm really reading Gracia Marquez. So it was magical, especially 100 Years of Solitude, 100 Years of Solitude. It was magical. The language was deep. It had different layers, right? The way he uses language is just it blows my mind, right? So it was really good. It was really a very good read. Yeah, I want to read 100 Years of Solitude again. In fact, Marquez is an author that I can read again and again and again. You know, I can never get tired of reading him. Just like I can never get tired of reading Charlotte Bronte. So yeah, what else did I read? I read Unorthodox by Deborah. It felt like a journal to me. When I read it then, I was really good. But now I feel like it's a novel that needed more development, and it was too biased. I feel like it would have been richer if she really expounded on the Jewish culture instead of overly criticizing it. I mean, she would have left that for us to do, right? You know, so it felt like I was reading a journal, but it was really good. I liked it when I read it. So yeah, that was unorthodox. Then the other novels I read. Did I mention that I read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets while I was reading Lord of the Rings? Yeah, I did. Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I love the movies, so I decided to read the books, and I really enjoyed the Chamber of Secrets. Then I read. I think I've exhausted. Oh my goodness! I can't believe I'm forgetting. I read Life of Pi by Yan Patel. Yeah, Life of Pi is such an amazing book. You know, it's a book that I mean, especially during this year, with everything that is happening, it's a book that you should read. Life of Pi is about survival. It's about choosing to live and making the best. You know, it's hard. It's hard to read, but it's such a beautiful story. It's about the best story. You know, it's about choosing the better story. It's so sad, but at the end you realize that it helped you go through the story. The story he had, I don't know how to describe it, but you should read Life of Pi for yourself. It's really a good book. Then, what else did I read? I don't know if I'm forgetting any other book I read. Then I guess it wasn't that interesting after all. Yeah, what else did I read? Oh, I read The Reader. I forgot. I read The Reader. I read The Reader by Bernard Schenkel, you know, a German author. The reader was okay. The reader was about the aftermath, coping with aftermath of the Holocaust, coping with shame, coping with guilt, coping with like what is justice. There are a lot of questions that were asked in the book, and he didn't really leave us with any conclusions. You know, you wondered what was the point of the end. Why did she kill herself? You know, Hannah. You know, why did she commit suicide? And it just and it also questions attachments, you know. And it does a lot. The book does a lot. It's very psychological, yeah. But it was a good read. It was a book I would read again. Yeah, it's a book I'll read again. Always hard, but I'll read again. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I saw that is a very big truck passing by. Yes. So I think that is all the books I read. Oh yes, I read Sikura by Chimamanda. It's a very short story, and in short, I read it during my gynecology rotation, so I kind of sympathized with her. because she was a whole page was talking about, or a page or two, she was talking about childbirth, how traumatic it is, and I get that. I really get that because I was in gynae rotation. So yeah. So a short story, easy to read, straightforward, and yeah, Chimamanda came again. So yeah, I think that's all the novels I read this year. Apart from reading novels, I did a lot of yoga, which I really enjoyed. Um, yes. Yeah. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for sharing your time with me. If you're not subscribed yet, you can subscribe. You can share with your friends if you enjoy what I had to say. And if you read any of these novels I mentioned, you can leave a comment below. And if you have any recommendations, you can also leave a comment for me. Yeah, so thank you so much for your time. I love you. Bye for now.